Wenyenchi, how are you doing? I hope you're okay. Now it's about to go down. This story that KTN did, that this week ODM National Central Committee is planning to sit and deliberate a decision to eject the Secretary-General Edwin Sifuna. And we want to discuss what are the consequences to the ODM party by ejecting Edwin Sifuna. How is it detrimental? Let's hear the story first, then we dive right into it.
The fate of Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna as the Secretary-General of ODM party now seems to have already been sealed. The party's National Central Committee is set to meet this week and deliberate on the proposal to change Sifuna as the party's Secretary-General, with majority of the leadership proposing to eject him. And as our senior political affairs reporter Chris Tairu reports, the name of Narok Senator Ledama Kina has already cropped up as the possible replacement of Sifuna.
The presence of Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna in Murang'a County and in the company of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua during the burial of the mother to Embakasi North MP James Gakuya could have triggered fresh efforts to remove him as the ODM party Secretary-General, since his direct attacks against some of the party officials on the decision to support the re-election of President William Ruto. He has received backlash from the same officials he was attacking.
Mshenzi mmoja ametambua kwamba kuna ubaya ya pesa ya Uhuru Kenyatta. Nataka niulize Junet. Wewe Junet, pesa ya Uhuru ilianza kuwa mbaya siku gani? Wewe ulikuwa unakula pesa ya Uhuru, badala ulipe agents, ukaacha hawa kina Wamunyoro wakatupiga 10-0. Sasa hii tunalia huko nje.
Through their social media platforms, both minority leader in the National Assembly, Junet Mohammed, and Narok Senator Ledama Kina have clearly shown indications of removing Sifuna as the party Secretary-General. In one of the posts, Ledama says, and I quote, "If you want to leave the ODM party, go ahead. No one is stopping you. Don't wait to be kicked out, because that is what will happen soon. Enough with the empty threats. This noise is getting out of hand." End of quote. Sources close to the party leadership indicate that the party's National Governing Council will be meeting this week to deliberate on the fate of Edwin Sifuna.
Hii vita yote unasikia nikipigwa ndani ya chama cha ODM ni kwa sababu moja tu. Nimesema Ruto one term.
Going by the numbers, those on top leadership and support President William Ruto's re-election are the majority, led by party leader Oburu Odinga, the deputy party leader Simbarati, the chairperson Gladys Wanga, and other members, compared to the two leaders, Secretary-General Edwin Sifuna and deputy party leader Godfrey Osotsi, who don't support the re-election of President William Ruto.
Kama wewe uko na shida, enda tengeneza chama chako na uende utengeneze broad based yako ingine pale pengine. Lakini hiyo ndio unatupeleka ya Uhuru Kenyatta, sijui ya United Opposition at 1 billion, hiyo enda ukule peke yako, sisi tutaki.
Reports are that Narok Senator Ledama Kina is already warming up to replace Sifuna as the Secretary-General. According to the party's constitution, to replace a Secretary-General, a National Delegates Congress must be convened to ratify a decision that would have already been made by the party's National Governing Council.
This week, ODM woke and chose internal drama. Reports indicate that the party's National Central Committee may be meeting to discuss the possible removal of Secretary-General Edwin Sifuna, with Ledama Kina's name floating around as a replacement. Now, on paper, this looks like a normal party reshuffle. In reality, this is like rearranging chairs on a matatu while it's already in motion. Let's start with facts. Edwin Sifuna is not just ODM Secretary-General. He's the party's loudest defender, most visible communicator, and, love him or hate him, one of the few leaders who still sounds like opposition in a party that hasn't decided whether it is opposition, government, or a motivational speaker. So when ODM starts discussing purging him, the question is not, can they? The question is, at what cost? Because here is the uncomfortable truth. Sifuna is popular, especially in Nairobi region and even all Kenya. Whenever he goes into any place, you'll hear the crowd cheering him up. You can see in the Western when they were at Jirongo's funeral, the crowd was wild. You can see at Muranga when they were at the funeral of the MP, James Gakuya's mother. The crowd was cheering him up, so he is popular. Yeah? And especially, and even in Nairobi region, where he is the senator, he is popular. So, Nairobi region and Western region, that's a region that forms a critical block of ODM's voter base. You don't just remove a leader like that and expect people to clap politely and say, ah yes, democracy. No. In Kenyan politics, people don't walk out quietly. They disappear silently and you only notice them on election day. When ballot boxes come back lighter. Yeah? And people here, I mean citizens, voters, and the general public. Now let's talk. The argument against Sifuna is that he is too critical, too confrontational, and too outspoken. But ODM was literally built on confrontation, outspokenness, and telling power uncomfortable truths. So punishing Sifuna for doing exactly what is like what? Okay, so punishing Sifuna for doing exactly that is like arresting a watchman for watching too much. And then there's the Ledama angle. Ledama is bold, Ledama is vocal, Ledama is controversial. But he's been inclining towards William Ruto and the broad-based government of late. It raises a serious question. If ODM thinks Sifuna is too outspoken, what exactly do they think Ledama is going to do? Whisper? Here's the big danger. ODM is slowly drifting into a party that fears internal dissent more than it fears electoral defeat. History has taught us one thing. Parties that purge voices don't grow stronger. They grow smaller, quieter, and eventually irrelevant. You don't fix cracks by breaking the wall. If ODM removes Sifuna without a broader reconciliation strategy, they may win an internal vote but lose a national audience. And in politics, the most dangerous applause is the one you hear inside the room, while the country has already walked out. This will reduce ODM party into a Luo thing. For example, if Western Kenya decides to walk out with Sifuna and the likes of Osotsi, now that everyone that's against broad-based government is being purged, I know next in line will be Deputy Party Leader Osotsi. The entire Western will be gone. Then, next will be Coast. If not Coast, it is Nyanza. So basically, it will be a Nyanza party. And what we are currently witnessing in Kano. This is Kenyan politics, where the real election is never at the ballot. It is the decisions made before it. So, that is my little input to the developments about Sifuna. What do you think? This plan to purge Sifuna from ODM party, is it beneficial or detrimental? Is it consequential or just another normal purge like a normal party and reshuffle. For this and many more, don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Let's spread the gospel. And don't forget that wewe ni mwenye nchi. Bye.